Wonderful. Well, let's get this party started. My name is Dave Schuling. Welcome. I'm a board member for IAESS, and that's the International Association of Education in Science and Snow Sports. Took me a second. We've since it is the formerly association known as IVSS, we're all still getting used to our new name, which we're really excited about. Let's run through a few welcome slides here. We do have a few of our board members in the house. We're also looking forward to our presentation this evening from the British Association of Snow Sports Instructors. Just real quick about IAESS. Our mission is to contribute to the development of snow sports and educational systems and to bridge the gap between theory and practice. Our tagline is where science meets practice. And here's our board. A few of us are here as well, but just to introduce everybody, we have Vanessa Mann, who is with us right now, Asa Tugatam as well. Pete Allison is actually on an airplane right now, so he's not able to join us. Rado Piso, myself, Dave Schuling, Peter Yankoff, Gerhard Angerer, Peter Mall, Dieter Bubeck, who's our current president, is with us via his car, and former president and honorary president Klaus Ostrand. Moving right along, we're excited about a few new developments. One is our website, and just a few pieces from our website, which also gets into more about what we do. We promote snow sports in schools and universities, professional knowledge, research, best practices in science. We help prop up the Interski family as one of the three pillars of the Interski family. We also work on research and development, developing infographics, providing free webinars like we're doing this evening. We would welcome that you join us with our social media channels on Facebook and Instagram. And please check out our new website, iaess.org. And we're excited about Interski coming up. We look forward to seeing everybody there. And we do have a general session in Levi in Finland coming up at Interski. And we also are proud to say that Rado Piso and the Erasmus Plus project to Ski Easy, many of the IAESS board members are heavily involved in that project as well. Rado will be doing a keynote address along with a few other board members. Let's do it easy, inspiring future generations of snow sports participants. That will be Tuesday evening in Levi, Interski. So the app is open and people are signing up frantically. So please jump in there and sign up for lots of different sessions, as well as the Ski Easy keynote presentation. All right, so what's happening in Basi? We're excited to turn it over to Jazz Bruce, Hannah Bryans, Charlie Lane, and Kevin Edwards, they're gonna give us a rundown on everything that's been going on, and also give us a sneak peek to what they're planning to present at Interski as well, current developments with Brexit and all those things. Without further ado, I'm excited to pass the mic over to the Basi crew, and I'll stop sharing so you can pick up your slide deck, and we'll let you take it away. I guess one last piece of housekeeping, we'll be using the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. As you have questions throughout, please feel free to put them in the questions and answers. We'll be typing answers as well as maybe saving some questions for the end. The plan is for them to go for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then we'll open it up for Q&A at the end. So, all right, now I will pass it over to Jazz and the crew. Take it away.
Thanks, Dave. We're just going to get the slides up now for our presentation. Welcome, everybody. Thanks very much, Dave, and thanks IAESS for having us tonight. My name is Jazz Bruce. I'm the head of product and international relations at Basi. We are going to give you a bit of a Basi overview in the lead up to Interski in the next couple of weeks. Also on the call tonight, we have, as Dave said, Hannah, Charlie, and Kev, who I'll go into their roles within Basi in a little bit. And then we also have on the 26th of April, a follow-up session with one of our trainers, Paul Garner, who will be delivering a webinar on his own research focused on coaching behavior. So that's a webinar that will be coming up in April after Interski. If we move on to the next slide, Kev, I just wanted to start by sort of introducing the product team. And back in 2019, the Basi Board of Directors instigated a bit of a change process, which resulted in a restructure of the internal staff at Basi. And now on the screen is half of Basi's internal staff. So this is the product team. So there's myself, who leads this team, and Hannah Bryans, who we'll hear from in a minute, who is our ski product owner. We have Karen Nevin, who's not on the call tonight, but she looks after all of our trainers. We've got about 100 trainers altogether. So she's the trainer manager. We have Kev Edwards, who's the snowboard product owner, and Charlie Lane, who looks after our growth disciplines, so telemark, adaptive, and cross country. So we'll hear from them in a little bit about some of the changes that have been happening over the last few years within the disciplines. The other half of the Basi staff is we call them the MIME team, so the Marketing Insights and Membership Engagement team. And through the change process since 2019, we also have a much smaller board of directors, and we're still in the middle of a further change, which will come into some of the more specific product changes in a bit. Kev, if we move on to the next slide. Just a bit about Basi. So historically, we were founded in 1963, and we're a membership association, not-for-profit association, and we look after the training and licensing of around about 5,000 members. And the 5 disciplines I said before: ski, snowboard, telemark, adaptive, and cross country. If we move on to the next slide, our revised vision is currently to inspire learning, performance, and growth in snow sports. This vision's been revised in about 2021. And we also have a mission, which is on the next slide, to create an inclusive and proud professional community who are continuously learning to deliver the most innovative and sustainable snow sports instruction worldwide. If we move on to the next slide, through 2020, we, as an association, but as an industry, we're dealing with COVID, and we'd already started our initial change process. But then for us in the UK, we had to navigate the fallout of Brexit. So I'm just going to give a bit of an international overview before we move into the product side of things. Although I don't have the correct stats, I'd say the majority of our membership voted to remain in the EU. So this is something that we've had to as I say, navigate, and something that a lot of our members did not agree with, and it's been pretty difficult. Losing the freedom of movement and easy working rights was an initial blow, and coupled with COVID, it's been a challenging few years. However, it's been my job and the board's job, the chairperson's job, the internal staff, the trainers at Basi, to look for a new future. And for British passport holders, and that's really key, it's the British passport holders, it was the level 4 ISTD automatic recognition of qualification that was no more post-Brexit, as we were removed from the EU Delegated Act, because mutual recognition of professional qualifications was left out by the British government in the Trading Cooperation Agreement. This meant that we had to engage in a new process of recognition of qualifications with the level 4 in certain countries. And just because we've left the EU, the qualifications are still valid, and we are being very thorough with our negotiations, making sure that we get the best possible agreement for our members moving forward. We have pathways for our level 4 for ski and snowboard. It continues to be recognized in Switzerland, and there is a pathway for our level 4 to be recognized in France. If we move on to the next slide, before we move into the product side of things, which the product owners will go into more detail, all of our courses are aligned to the Scottish Credit and Qualifications Framework, which is also aligned to the European Qualifications Framework. And this is overseen by the University of Edinburgh. This has been a lengthy process that has gone on for many years, and we're going to continue this moving forward. The University of Edinburgh quality assure the course delivery, the course structure, everything is aligned with the framework. And as of this year, all of our level 1 courses are now recognised by Iaess, which is the Universities and Colleges Admission Service. So the holder of our level 1 qualification gets awarded 7 tariff points, which helps access further education. And as far as I know, we are one of the only associations to have this alignment and recognition for further education access. So I think this is a really crucial part of what our product and our course delivery, and we stick with the framework, and we look for the learning outcomes, the learning experiences, the assessment activities, and the assessment criteria for all of our courses. If we move on to next slide. Just before we move into the product, I just thought I'd touch on some of the values that we've worked on since our internal change. Values and culture is not something that we've been explicit about, but it's something that we've worked on internally, and we're trying to have we're trying to continue to have an open, fair, collaborative, and innovative culture. And for example, we've just had a trainer selection last year, and we've been looking at selecting trainers who have the similar values of integrity, empathy, inclusivity, and passion. So with that in mind, this is a very sort of whistle-stop tour of the sort of international and what's been happening in the change process that we've been going through in the last few years. But maybe some of the more exciting stuff is actually what's happening in the product. So at this point, I'd like to hand over to Hannah, who is in charge of our ski discipline.
Thanks, Jazz. So yeah, Kev, if you could go straight through to the next slide. Awesome, thank you. So on the slide here, we've just got a bit of an overview of what we've been working on and developing in the last year or so. So within the ski product, we are revamping almost the entire teaching side of the content, trying to include as much sort of current research regarding sort of teaching theories and methodologies as we can, spending more time on not only professional knowledge, but also things like intrapersonal knowledge and interpersonal knowledge, and bringing that all together into our teaching content. We're hoping to have a new teaching manual out in the next year, I would say is the goal. Recently, we've also been using data as much as we can to ensure that our sort of technical standards are consistent across all of our levels. So we've been looking at our pass rates across all courses and all trainers, and using that data to ensure that we are all delivering a consistent product, and then making any changes where necessary. In general, we are developing our courses. There's ongoing course development happening, and that is both on the snow and off the snow. So that includes a lot of development within the pre-course learning. So the online learning is something that we introduced last year. I think the beginning of last season. So there's pre-course online learning that students need to do before joining us on snow. We are also revamping all of our material that goes alongside the courses. So we are looking at revamping the workbooks and increasing interactive content, video content, wherever possible. So any other sort of online and user-friendly experiences as we can. And then finally, we have been working alongside a members representative for each of the disciplines, just to ensure that we maintain contact with the members, to ensure that we're doing what they want us to do. Next slide, please, Kev. Thank you. So on the screen now, you'll see our ski pathway that we have at the moment. So broadly speaking, we have 4 levels, level 1, 2, 3, and 4, where at level 3, we are awarded with the ISA stamp. There is also a UK level 2 qualification in there, which is targeted towards instructors working in the UK, so in snow domes, just to give them an extra level to achieve without having to do the on snow, sort of on mountain rather, level 2 qualification. Next slide, please. Thank you. So here is an overview of our the structure of our level 1 qualification as it currently stands. So it is a 4-day on snow course where we look at the skiing and the teaching capabilities of the candidate. So we look at, in terms of their skiing, we look at their central theme demonstrations, so their snowplow, plow parallel, and so on. We look at their short turns, and we look at their long turns as well. And then their teaching across 2 days of the 4 days. As in addition to the on snow content, we also have a first aid course. We ask each candidate to complete shadowing hours. We have an online child protection module, yeah, that is our level 1. Next slide, please. Perfect. So our level 2 qualification is now 8 days, reduced down from 10 days. Again, we look at their skiing and their ski performance and their teaching. This time we are looking at their teaching in a mountain environment. So the level 1 was, it is also assessed on mountain, but it is targeted towards indoor snow dome workers. So level 2 is the whole course is only delivered in a mountain environment. And again, we look at central theme, long turns, short turns, and we introduce now some more variable skiing. So we have bumps and steeps and variable terrain. We also ask for another block of 35 hours of shadowing experience or snow sports schooling experience to go alongside the on snow activities. Next slide, thank you. So the level 3 is quite a big jump up from our level 2. So as I said before, this is where we are aligned with the ISA and we obtain the ISA stamp. And as such, there's various different things that we need to include in the qualification in order to meet all those prerequisites. So it's a modular level. You can take the courses in any order, but we have a technical exam, a teaching exam, including a 1-day online performance analysis course. Then we have a coaching course, a mountain safety course, so an off-piste course, a second language, 200 hours of teaching, as well as another level 1 exam in a second discipline. Next slide, please. Thank you. So our level 4 qualification is our highest qualification. Again, it's modular. And we have a technical course, again, a teaching course with the online performance analysis. We have the Iaess training and assessment, so the off-piste training course and an off-piste assessment course, where the candidate also in between the training and assessment has to go out and log at least 6 tours, so off-piste tours. And we have 200 hours of teaching. We have the speed test, and we also have the PDP, which is a written project where we ask each candidate to discuss their teaching styles and what they have learned and what they've reflected on over their X number of hours teaching as they've gone through the system. Next slide, please, Kev. Over to you, Kev. That was skiing. I'll pass it back to Kev for snowboarding.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, thanks, Hannah. Yeah, well, I'll talk you through what's going on in Basi snowboarding at the minute. There will be a little bit of overlap with what Hannah's done in terms of our pathway, but I'll make sure I highlight all those bits and pieces as well. But you'll see there's definitely some parallel, should we say, with the way that the levels are structured as well, and the things that we cover. So in terms of Basi snowboarding, we've been working on quite a lot recently since COVID and Brexit, as Jazz has already spoken about. One of the large pieces of work we've been doing, or what it's allowed us to do, is reflect upon our technical standards across all the levels. We do have 4 levels of snowboarding right through to ISTD level, and we've been able to create a level 4 technical course by looking at our level 1, level 2, level 3 courses, and just analysing what is covered at those stages, and just ensuring there's a progressive journey for our students through each of the levels. Historically, there's always been a bit of a known or a jump between level 2 and level 3 technical standards, which has, I believe, put people off moving through from 2 to 3 just because of the jump in technical ability. And I think that this has really given us an opportunity to be able to sort of flatten that curve and just make it a lot more progressive from one level to the next, ensuring that each stage of the process or each stage of the journey through the levels is within attainability for our students. We would see our pass rates from level 2 hovering around about 80–85%, and then they would drop significantly down to around 25 to 30% of the level 3 stage, which wasn't really reflective of the nations, or indeed the sub-ski technical on the Basi side as well. So that's been a really useful endeavour, and we're already starting to see and hear noise from the membership about the changes that we've made and people moving through. As Hannah's already referenced, we've made a huge steps forwards in the amount of pre-course learning that we're doing with our members before they attend our courses, which is really helping on a number of fronts. It's making sure that they're coming prepared with a really solid foundation level of knowledge, and also a great understanding, especially on the level 1 course, or at least a base level of understanding of the things that we're going to talk about, the language that we're going to use, the words, some of the entrance into the theory we're going to be using, so that when we're delivering on those level 1 courses and above, we don't have to start from complete zero. We can build on existing knowledge. Having that pre-course learning allows the students to, in fact, revisit that as the course goes on, or indeed revisit it before they're doing the next level of course, to really ensure that they're getting the best experience possible, and that this information that we're delivering is really sort of hitting home. It allows them to come better prepared, and also we're starting to bring our manual, which was a reference book, so to speak, in the past, now bringing it to life and delivering it to our students in a step-by-step basis, and really sort of drip feeding the information to them. And also it's allowing people to take a flexible approach to learning, being able to pick it up in bite-sized chunks over periods of time before they come to the exam or the assessment or the training courses that we offer. So it's really helping a broad range of students in a different way to be able to get the knowledge they need. We've increased accessibility to our UK courses. Hannah touched on it briefly with the UK level 2, allowing, because the UK doesn't have too many mountains or ski resorts. There are a number of them up in Scotland, but we do have a number of snow domes scattered throughout the UK, through England and Scotland as well. So we have an opportunity to really engage with a good chunk of our membership who do actually reside in the UK, and helping engage with them more through those centres, and also unlocking the ability to be able to move through from level 1 to level 2 has become really beneficial to our membership. We've been able to, through all the change management we've done and the way that we are as an organisation, as a not-for-profit, and the way that we've been able to streamline the way the whole office has been working, and the way that we assign and allocate our team, we've been able to make significant savings to be able to reduce the course numbers of number of students on our courses from 10 on the level 1 and level 2 down to 8, and also on our higher level teaching course to reduce that number down from 8 down to 6, to really give the students more contact time with the trainer, or ratioed out, and just hopefully delivering a much better experience, and in turn really increasing their knowledge and what they're gaining from the qualifications. Of course, we're going through ongoing course development throughout this time, is allowing us to be more reactive to what's going on courses, and how we gain feedback from our courses from trainers and students alike, to make sure that we're developing our courses to be as current as possible. And we're consistently revamping our material, increasing the amount of interactivity that we've got with our content, and then moving with the times in terms of the amount of video content that we're offering, versus a lot of, say, heavy written text, which isn't necessarily accessible to all. And of course, we have members representatives as well. So we've got a direct link from the team within the office, of the product team, and the membership, by having a members representative who can help us ensure that we're doing the utmost to support our membership. In terms of our course pathway, very much similar to the ski side, a 4-level pathway, including the midsection of the UK level 2, which is allowing us to break down what used to be a whole on-mountain qualification, to allow half of it to be conducted in the UK, or in one of the snow domes, or indeed on artificial. Yes, the level 4 qualification, very similar to the course on the ski side. Now, as I was talking earlier about the progressiveness of our courses, we've now been able to introduce the level 4 technical course and the level 4 teaching course as well, to go alongside the IMS training assessment, the log tours, and the 200 hours. I suppose, we're really looking forward to Interski, and on the snowboard side, we're delivering our ISIA technical assessment criteria. That was born out of something that was discussed at the last Interski around ISIA standards between different nations, and how useful it would be to look at different nations' standards at that level. And so we're hoping for a real sort of interactive workshop where we'll be delivering ours, and hoping that other nations will be able to jump on in and discuss about how they use various different bits of terrain tasks that they do to assess at that level, just to really help sort of calibrate across the board. The workshops are Tuesday and Wednesday morning at 9 AM. So we'd love to see you there and get joined up. So it's at this point I'll hand over to Charlie if she's there, and she can talk to you a little bit more in depth about the growth disciplines that we have on offer. And I'll just be quick.
Hi Kev, thank you. Yes, I am here. I'm back. Okay, so just going to look through the structure of the growth disciplines. So that is adaptive ski, adaptive snowboard, cross country, and telemark. And can we go to the next slide, please, Kev? So why excuse me, do we call them the growth disciplines? Well, looking at this lovely graph here, you can see that ski and snowboard make up the majority of our membership, although we've got a little slice there for coaching, which is a little bit misleading, because it's actually showing us the second largest discipline, but it's actually a requirement for our level 3 ski and snowboard qualifications rather than a discipline in its own right. But if we focus on those 3 segments in green, you can see we've got cross-country, telemark and adaptive make up a considerably smaller portion of our membership. And so we want to help these disciplines grow and develop, and we want to try and increase uptake on their courses, as well as membership retention. Thanks, Kev. So how are we doing this? So we are looking to develop and create more courses to help make the disciplines more accessible to the rest of the membership. So, for example, with Adaptive, we've created a couple of online courses that focus on additional needs and visual impairment in snow sports. And those 2 online modules have got on snow modules, which when done together, create a certification for our membership. So it's kind of like an adaptive bolt-on, if you like, for their existing snow sports qualification. And we've got a few more in the pipeline as well. So just looking at ways of helping the wider membership kind of dip their toe into the other disciplines to hopefully pique their interest and get them engaged enough to perhaps want to then book onto a full instructor qualification. Similar to ski and snowboarding, we're looking to increase the online learning material that we've got available, so like the pre-course learning, and making the online learning more accessible with use of video and interactive materials in that way, but also updating the workbooks to simplify the content, because they're quite comprehensive at the moment, and we want to again make the information within them more accessible for the membership, so that when our members book onto a Basi course, they know exactly what to expect from the workbook, rather than having something different on every single course. We're trying to increase exposure of these growth disciplines. So across our promotional material, we're now striving to include an image of at least one of every discipline, as well as of each gender, and increasing the library of the free online learning that we've got as well. And again, just like with ski and snowboard, working closely with representatives from the membership, but slightly differently with the growth disciplines, looking to create sort of a quarterly newsletter for the growth disciplines that the members' representatives will create, and we will then circulate to try and again increase that growth discipline member engagement. And then with our course delivery, we are a bit unique within the Basi disciplines, certainly with telemark and cross country, in that for our level 2 and 3 courses, we often run them combined. And what this means is that because they're a smaller portion of our membership, we're more likely to get the courses running and confirmed by running them combined, rather than looking to an individual level 2 or level 3 courses. And with the adaptive ski as well, you can actually enter at the level 2 level with no prior adaptive experience. So again, they work slightly differently to the ski and snowboard disciplines. Thanks, Kev. Next slide, please. Which will look at the pathway. So something very familiar to you all now after seeing the ski and snowboard slides. But the biggest difference for us with the growth disciplines is that we don't have a level 4 ISTD. So our top level qualification across the growth disciplines is the level 3 ISIA instructor qualification. Thanks, Kev. Next slide. So looking at our level 1 qualification, again, it fits the same model as the ski and the snowboard, except for the adaptive and cross-country disciplines are 5-day courses instead of the 4 days that we see in ski, snowboard and telemark. And that's just because there's so much content to cover on the adaptive courses. And then on the cross-country, you've got the different disciplines within cross-country. And at the moment, we can't yet find a way forward to potentially reduce those down to 4 days. And unique to adaptive, for the level 1, you don't actually need any adaptive experience to enter the adaptive ski or the adaptive snowboard exams. Okay, Kev, thank you. Looking at our level 2 qualification. So these are 10-day courses, just like ski and snowboard. I think if you click again, Kev, hopefully some information might pop up as well. There we go. So yeah, 10 days, unlike ski and snowboard, which are the 8 days, 35 hours of snow sports school experience. And as I mentioned before, adaptive ski is unique in that if you've got your level 2 ski qualification, you can enter at the adaptive ski level 2 qualification. You might notice that there's no adaptive snowboard level 2. That's something that we were hoping to develop in the future, but as of yet, the adaptive snowboard qualification only has the level 1. And then finally, looking at our level 3 qualification, please, Kev. You can see that, again, just like with ski and snowboard, it is modular. Oh, apologies, the cat is trying to join in as well. So where on the level 3 qualification, the ISIA for ski and snowboard, the coaching course is part of that structure. For the growth disciplines, it's an optional course. And where with ski and snowboard, you've got the ski, teach and technical assessed assessed separately. With the growth disciplines, it's a combined 10-day teaching and technical course. Although again, with adaptive, another exception is that there's a requirement for the level 3 ski teach exam, which I've said is 5 days, but I can see that I need to update that information on my wheel, so I apologize for that. Yeah, and I think that's it for me for adaptive. Thanks, Kev. Thanks, everyone. Any questions?
And I suppose we can open it up for any questions for any of our Basi team who presented tonight.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for the great information, and I like this this format because it shows us how in other countries the education will be done, and so it's a first step for getting this information from different countries. So I like it very much that you did this show this evening, and we all have this information now. And you set a great standard for all the other countries to get also to give their informations to other countries. So thank you for this for the thing. I enjoyed it very much. Although I'm sitting mostly in the car, but it was a good presentation, so it could be heard very well.
Thanks, Dieter. Just wanted to say, hopefully that other countries will share information like this at Interski. I think Kev mentioned some of the snowboard workshops that we have, but we also have on Monday we've got Basi level 4 technical performance indicators and actions, so our PIAs. That's an outdoor workshop. We also have a ski performance analysis indoor workshop on the Monday as well. We've got a cross-country fundamental elements workshop on the Monday. We have, as Kev mentioned earlier, the snowboard ISIA technical assessment criteria on Tuesday. Telemark fundamental elements workshop on the Tuesday. And we have equality, diversity and inclusion in Basi on the Tuesday, and indoor workshop Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Oh, cool. And yeah, and a couple of other presentations on the later in the week. So on the ski side, we've got another outdoor workshop, the ski fundamental elements performance link, and the adaptive workshop on the Thursday. I'm just checking my information's correct. For ski and snowboard, that's an indoor workshop on the Thursday, and finally our teaching philosophies Tide, our Tide model, and the future of where we will be going with teaching, or a bit of a taste for the future for all disciplines. That's an indoor workshop on the Friday. So that was just a summary of we've got quite a lot of workshops, mainly for a lot of these workshops are mainly for other trainers and other examiners, but we have some of those workshops, particularly the ski fundamental elements performance link workshop is open to instructors on the Wednesday, and some of the other indoor workshops as well are open. So we've got quite a bit on at Interski, but a lot of countries do. Looking at the calendar today and registering for the events, it's pretty exciting, and we really look forward to heading to Levy and seeing everybody there.
Yeah, I think it's great to have all this information about the lectures in advance of the Interski Congress. So it's the first time in my knowledge that we have this opportunity, and we can sign in for these workshops. So hopefully it works, everything up there in Levy. But I'm right sure that we can manage this all. And I'm happy that we have so many workshops. I think we have in a row around 300 workshops or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you must
awesome.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I scrolled through all these workshops and lectures, I was really excited to hear all these topics and to listen to it. And so
yeah,
I think the same is with your presentation now here. We will offer that to the skiing world via our website, and I think there will be an exchange of knowledge. And you started this process, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah.
good.
Yeah, we're looking forward to kicking off. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but we're looking forward to kicking off a series, and you're leading the charge here, and there'll be lots of great takeaways coming back from Interski. You know, one thing that was cool is how organized your system is, and we actually we proposed a roundtable discussion for credentialing or education chairs of various countries, and I was just interacting with Iaess, who's running the programming for the Congress, and she thinks that maybe we could squeeze that in for Thursday afternoon. So keep an eye out for that. And it's the title was Certification and Credentialing Roundtable, just sharing best practices about how, you know, the journey for snow sports professionals and how they work through the qualifications. And you know, so Basi sets a really high standard for how you do that and how you align it to you know, to academic qualifications. It's something that I know that we're learning in PSIA ASI from our work with Pete Allison, who you worked very closely with when you went through something very similar. So yeah.
Pete was very instrumental in that process with Dave Renouf, who will also be at Interski. And Andrew Horrell, who is he's currently works for the University of Edinburgh, and he oversees the quality assurance process between the university and Basi. So he will also be at the event in Levy. If anybody would like to speak to him on specifics, and also Pete Allison, who I'm sure you know really well.
Very good. I'm not seeing any other questions coming in from the Q&A. I guess another shout out goes to Dieter for as president of Iaess. He sits on the Interski board, so all the planning and preparation for the Congress coming up. It's he's done a ton of work to do that as well. So I know we're all going to enjoy the fruits of his and the Interski board's labors and our Finnish hosts when we all get to Levi. It'll be great.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. We will have a great Congress because we can all do by walking distances, so to speak. We have everything on one hill, and so I'm really excited, and I think it would be a great informational Congress and also socializing Congress because everybody's near to each other. Yeah, and be well prepared for the karaoke. So,
Karaoke?
karaoke. because it's the Finnish speciality to do karaoke. So you will be sure once or twice in a karaoke bar.
In Finnish.
No, it's international.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. If there's no further questions, we'll just say thanks once again to Hannah and Charlie, Kev, and Jazz for a great presentation on the Basi system and letting us know what you've been up to. And we look forward to seeing everybody in Levi, Finland at the Interski Congress. Cheers to all.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks for having us. See you in Levi.
See you all soon. Thanks.
Bye.
Cheers.